Hey guys, it is Jordan with thebetlocker.com. Welcome on in. Here to bring you another DFS first look and lineup strategy for this Sunday, week 7 in the NFL. If you can, buy yourself some good karma. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It does obviously help the small channel and trying to grow it as fast as possible for you guys. But yeah, buy yourself some good karma. Hit that like button. We do appreciate it a lot. So let's dive into this slate. I've been looking all morning on it. Some good spots. This actually looks like a really fun slate. There isn't going to be like major chalk like there has been for the last couple weeks on Rico Dowdle, Rashad White, stuff like that. Like just spots like that where you have to be on the chalk and then you only have to be different in one spot. I do believe in that, but when there is such a chalk spot, it has to go right, and it has been. But I mean, looking at this slate so far, I don't see any crazy chalk spots like we've been getting because all the prices have come up. There's people that are back, other people that are injured. So I don't know. But yeah, let's dive in. Let's look. Let's just pop into one of these. I had a pretty good week in props, actually. I had a really nice night, hit a 4-teamer on Monday, the Monday night games, which I took one. I just want to tell you guys real quick. I took one from each team. I took Josh Allen over rushing yards, and I gave all these in my videos, in my props videos, and I gave it on the betlocker.com site. So I did over in rushing for Josh Allen. I did over in receiving for Zach Ertz. I did over in rushing and receiving yards for DJ Moore, and I did what I do for Bijan. Anytime touchdown. You could have done anything for Bijan and you hit it. So I wanted to try and get fancy and see if I can pick one from each side, and it hit. And Josh Allen's hit on the very last play or last 2 plays of the game when he ran for like 30 yards. That last little run when everyone was scooting back for the Hail Mary. So it's fun. It's fun when you hit that. And then I hit a little baseball one last night. So anyways, a little tangent. It's been a fun week so far already. And then we've been gearing up for this Sunday already. I've been, like I said, I've been looking all morning for this upcoming slate. So let's dive in. Let's look at it together. So I have been looking at quarterback spots and trying to see what I like. It looks like Mahomes is going to be in a pretty interesting spot. I mean, he obviously has Rashee Rice coming back. That is highly talked about. And just judging based off of what everyone is saying is like Rashee is just going to come back and get 10 catches for 200 yards. And the fact remains, we don't know what's going to happen with Rice coming back. And Mahomes has a lot of mouth to feed now. Like he has, let's go to receiver. He has Worthy. He has Rice coming back. He has Hollywood Brown, who's been solid for him. He's had Juju on those slants that have been solid for him that he's comfortable with. I think Thornton probably goes away, but if he sees the field, he's a deep threat. And then obviously he has Kelsey still. The only thing that we do know about the Chiefs right now is they are very uncertain with their running game. And in must-win games, Mahomes he's been the top rusher. I mean, and that's bad. If Mahomes is your top rushing player right now, I mean, that's really bad. So one thing we do know is they have been struggling in the rush game. So there's a lot of passing to go around, but there is a lot of weapons now to pass to. Having said that, I mean, with saying that with Mahomes as well, I think that he's been doing that because he's been in must-win situations. And this is finally a game where they're a double-digit favorite and he has all his weapons to where, I mean, if he doesn't need to run, I'm sure they don't want him to, based off of potential injury. So I think he's going to be passing a lot more, and they're, if they go up, they're probably going to be playing a little bit safer. It's hard to say that. It's not like I just have a feeling where there's a lot of mouths to feed, and he's not going to be running as much as he has been potentially. So you can't just jam in him with Rice. Having said that, I don't want any part of it if Rice is chalk, because we don't know what's going to happen with him. He could see 7 targets right away. He could catch 50% of them, but who knows? He might need that touchdown to get there, and there's just too many receivers to go around. So versus like like a spot with let's say Minnesota. How many mouths to feed are there? I mean, obviously there's Jordan Addison, but Justin Jefferson, I mean, he's a workhorse and he is a target hog. Not more than a target hog of Chris Olave. He's already been targeted, over 60 or 70 times? Let me just go look it up. He's been targeted already. Let's see. Chris Olave has been targeted. Gosh, I just had it. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. I wanted to know because the reason why I'm trying to get back to his stats is because he's been targeted almost the most in the league. 64 times already in 6 games. So, I mean, and he's catching 50% of them. So, that's pretty good. And my point being is there really is no one else on that team to target like there is with Mahomes and all his weapons. I mean, if you go to the Saints and look that up, he is basically the only receiver to throw to. I mean, he has Rashid Shaheed, but he's just a wild card. He could get that Hail Mary pass catch it seems like he does it once every 5 weeks, but you can't rely on that. And then where Chris Olave has been targeted double digits. Let me give you another example. You see it with the Falcons on Thursday when all the other Falcons receivers were out. Essentially, they had Ray McLeod, but you can't count on him. And they had Kyle Pitts. So the number one receiver by far, by a mile on that team was Drake London, and he was targeted however many times for almost 200 yards and a touchdown. Like, it just happens, and that's and I'm not trying to teach or preach here. I'm just saying those are the types of spots that you need to look at as far as target shares and who's getting all the targets and who is going to continue to get those, especially in injury situations and whatnot. So in that way, you just take your chances. I'll take a guy that's going to get 10 to 15 targets over a guy that his whole team could get single-digit targets. So let's build one out here, though. I am liking to go to, let's see, Mahomes. He's in a great spot. Like we said, a lot of weapons to throw to, though. Washington is in, obviously, a great spot. Dallas is giving up how many yards now? Dallas's defense is atrocious. You just target them every week. They're giving up 269 yards per game in passing, and they're also giving up 142 on the ground. So go to their receiving core, and what do you get? It wasn't great. We saw that on Thursday. You get Zach Ertz. I like him. You get a questionable Deebo Samuel. You get a questionable Terry McLaurin. If they come back, then they look great. If they don't, or if one of them misses, let's say McLaurin misses again, and Deebo looked bad. But is he going to look a lot better against this atrocious Dallas? Probably. And he's going to get all the targets if he is back and he is healthy. And it's just that same issue. He didn't look bad. He just wasn't open or wasn't getting open on Thursday. Much different game environment, though, against the Bears. So that could be a spot, or you could just take the rushing. I really like to go right back to Ja'Cory Merritt. I don't know I still don't know what they call him, Bill or Bob. I have no clue, but I would go right back to them. And you saw Jane Daniels take off running a lot, so you could just double them up. Maybe no passing. Jalen Hurts, he's probably going to be 1% owned against the Minnesota. Who knows? I don't know what he's going to do, but that Minnesota secondary is really good. A place to target on Minnesota looks like it would be on the ground, but Saquon hasn't been doing great. The offensive line hasn't been creating the holes like they were last season. I don't know. Dak Prescott looks really great against Washington Commanders. That could be a really big trade-off. I think it's going to be really chalky having those game stacks with Washington and Dallas like it always is, but it's been producing. The one thing with Dallas is CeeDee Lamb might be back. So do you take Lamb? Do you take um, George Pickens? Do you take both of them? I don't know. One thing I do know is, you expect that Ferguson, or I did at least last week, that Ferguson would get a ton of targets with CeeDee Lamb being out again, and he didn't get a lot. I mean, he got 3 targets this time, and he got a touchdown, but you can't really rely on that. George Pickens ate everything. I think that would be an interesting spot if CeeDee Lamb came back and you did double stacks with Lamb and George Pickens, and you could do a bring back with Krosky Merritt, or you could do a bring back with Zach Ertz. That'd be an interesting spot to take. Just going down the list here, what stacks look like. Justin Herbert looks awesome for a stack, especially if Quentin Johnson is out again. Because if you go, let's just build that one. Because I was cheating. I wanted to see what that one looked like this morning, and it looked really great. So if you go something like a Justin Herbert, and you get a very concentrated, and to tell you the truth, because Kamani Vidal isn't going to bail them out again. Not against this Colts defense. Their spots have been stopping the run, but their leaks have been giving up a lot of yards in the passing game. So, having said that, you go like a Herbert. You could go a Herbert triple stack with McConkey, Allen. You don't even have to go Allen if you don't want to. But the reason why I say triple stack is because if you look at Gadsden, even with who's their second tight end, Disley was back, but he barely saw the field. Gadsden ran like 95 or 98% routes, and he was targeted 8 times. So if Kamani Vidal isn't bailing them out, and we know that their other guy, I'm losing it now, who's their other running back, Hassan Haskins, if they're not bailing them out with those runs, like I don't think they're going to, then you can do that complete stack with Herbert, because they could be getting, like I said, my mind's going blank with these O-line names and all these backup names because it's that time of season for the NFL. But they're getting back their could potentially be getting back their O-line guy that has been missing, that is really good pass protector. So Herbert could get by himself a lot more time there. And if he's passing a lot, that's kind of a nice little triple stack with Herbert. Plus, it could be popular, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't think anything's going to be really popular this week. There might be 1 or 2 spots that are really chalky, but it's not going to be like we were having the last couple weeks with Dowdle and Rachaad White and whatnot. So you could do that with a bring back. Now, if you do a bring back with, obviously we know who, Jonathan Taylor, then, that doesn't give you a lot to spend. So you're going to have to do something tricky. What you could do is, which people do not like to do at all, is play double tight end sets. But if they're in a good spot, I have no issue going with the double tight end set. And Tyler Warren has been crushing it. That rookie looks awesome. Have him on my personal team. That's why I've been watching him so much. But if you go someone like a Tyler Warren in the flex spot, which is going to instantly make you different, then let's see how much that brings you. Man, they brought his price way up though, $5,200 this week. He's always been in the 4K range. So, that gives you more spots. I do really like the 6K quarterbacks this week, and that's the only reason why I am bringing this up. So, 6K, run it down. You got Dowdle again. Now, if Chuba Hubbard is back, I do think that they're going to be splitting it a little more. I don't think that right off the bat it's going to be one person over the other, just even though Dowdle's been a freaking amazing. If Chuba Hubbard's back, they're going to let him see the field, and he's got the contract. So I would be weary to go back to Dowdle, and they brought his price way up. He was in the 5K range, then he was in the 4K range, and he's just outperformed that price. So he's been way up. So now I'm not just going to auto click him in like I have the last 2 weeks. I wouldn't do anything against Denver. I think Denver's going to rout the Giants. Breece Hall has that weird contract thing now going on, saying he's going to get traded. And, when you hear those trade rumors, that do you showcase him or do you save him because you don't want him to get injured? I don't know. Who knows? No one ever knows what a team's going to do, but it's just a scary spot. He's going to be way low owned because of the news, so it's not bad to go to him and just roll the dice. Jordan Mason looks good. He looks okay against Philly. Philly's giving up, how many is Philly giving up on rushing? 134 yards per game. He doesn't look bad. Krosky Merritt, like we said, he's going to be low owned because he burned everyone last week. He only got 6. He went 7, 31, 6. Is this a trend? Does he go 31 again? Against Dallas, I'm willing to take the risk. So let's say you go there. Let's say you go Krosky Merritt. And then Judkins. Now, they're having issues at quarterback, obviously. Miami's atrocious defense. And Judkins also burned everyone last week. So maybe you save these two guys or you use these two guys. Because like I said, if you start getting too different in every single spot, then you start to put yourself in trouble and you put yourself behind everyone else. It has to be dead perfect. You have to have a lot of things go right in your lineup for it to be first place or whatnot, versus like the previous weeks to where you just chalk, one guy different, he blows up, you just passed everyone. And you didn't have to get everything right, you just had to get the one guy right. So when you do something like Judkins and Krosky Merritt, you're trying to get two things right there, and you're trying to get the pass game right correctly, and you're trying to get the bring back not being Jonathan Taylor and it be Warren instead. But if you're playing multiple lineups, though, this is not a bad lineup at all. Throw a defense in there, and then let's see who that gives you. Oh, who do we like in defense? Obviously not these guys. Jets don't look too bad. Jets at home against Carolina, and everyone's going to be big on Carolina, so Jets going to be pretty not. I mean, they're not going to be popular at all. So let's just throw them in there and see what I 8,900. I mean, okay, so now you do this. Now you go Justin Jefferson, which is, if Carson Wentz plays, it's gonna look pretty good. I think Jefferson will look good as long as he's not chalk, which we'll have to see how the projections look at the end of the week. So throw him in there, then you can switch out Warren. You don't even have to do a bring back with Colts, maybe. And who's that leave you? Cam Scatterboo. Gary Wilson's gonna be injured. Tet McMillan again. There's your Breece Hall. There's your Jalen Waddle. Nothing great, nothing crazy. You just maybe switch out a couple of these guys if you like it. Jordan Mason, that's not a bad lineup right there. And leave some salary on the field. You got 3 elite receivers. You got 3 starting running backs. That's not a bad lineup at all. Let's do another one. One spot I did like was because of injuries. Then this is going to be probably left field for some guys, but I do kind of like it. Is injured wide receiver core in Garrett Wilson. Justin Fields, he only targets Garrett Wilson, and he only targets Mason Taylor. So I think you can run and Breece Hall is now in question. So I was thinking like maybe you could go like a Justin Fields, Breece Hall scenario and do no pass catchers. But since Breece Hall, if you're wanting to roll the dice on him, then great. Who knows? Now with this news, I hate that there's always news going on. And are they going to play him? Are they not? And they want to trade him. I don't know. Maybe you can just go a skinny stack with Justin Fields and his main target, which is going to be Mason Taylor. I mean, look at his targets. He only had 1 last game. Okay, but they were playing against Denver, and everything kind of just went out the window for them. But before then, 12 targets, 7 targets, 6 targets, and that's with Garrett Wilson on the field. So now without Garrett Wilson on the field, I expect his targets to go up for sure. And if he does have to pass, or if he does end up passing, it's probably going to be mostly him, because who do you have left in the receiver game with the Jets? I mean, it's no one great. Plus, I mean, the reason I'm saying this is Carolina's defense isn't anything special at all. But I mean, you got Garrett Wilson. He's injured. Doesn't suck by any means. I love him. Josh Reynolds. Who's this guy? Made up guys. Arian Smith. Lazard. Probably. That's probably the best starting receiver that they got now. Tyler Johnson. So you could run just a single or a skinny stack with nope, not Michael Mayer. Mason Taylor. There we go. You can run although Michael Mayer does look pretty good in the tight end set this week as well. I do like him. So you could run something like that. You could even just run a naked stack. I wouldn't mind it because Justin Fields, especially if the Breece Hall's in question, Fields is probably going to be taking off and running. And if he has a 40-yard run for a touchdown, that is, what is that? 4 points for the yards, 6 points for the touchdown. Just one single run alone can get him 10 points. So he does that twice in a game. He gets 2 rushing touchdowns. Maybe he gets 1 passing against this Carolina defense. He gets there. He gets in the 20s pretty easily. And he's cheap. So you put him in a naked stack with... You're already different with him, I would think. I assume he's going to be in the single digits ownerships. So who else are you going to target? Like I said, I mean, Jonathan Taylor... if they go up early against the Chargers, they have no issue not putting him out in the field. And he's very expensive. He's almost $9K, and he doesn't really get used in the passing game a lot. So it's kind of hard to justify. I mean, he does four targets, 3 targets, some, but none for touchdowns. All of his touchdowns has come from the ground, obviously. So if that's like a shootout-ish game in a way, then are they really going to be running him in the ground? They panic a little bit more and put it more in Daniel Jones's hands to pass it and to run with his legs if, as a bailout situation. I don't know. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to justify that salary. Devon Achane against Cleveland. I wouldn't. Cleveland's the best in the league at defending the run right now. Josh Jacobs against Arizona. That's not a bad spot. Saquon against Minnesota. The only way to target Minnesota is on the ground, and maybe he has one of those breakout games finally. Depends who the chalk is here. I would probably let's just go with my 2 favorites this week again. DeAndre Swift would look really good against the Saints, especially if DJ Moore is out again. He probably is going to be workhorse. I know, and that might be a little bit biased because we saw what he did on Thursday, but he looked really great, and he does get used in the pass game. And if DJ Moore is out and doesn't take up some of those 3-4 attempts in rushing, he could get more. So that doesn't look like a bad spot. Let's just go with my 2 favorites again last game, or last lineup like I did, Judkins, Merritt. And then that starts to make you go like, who would be your carrot? I mean, you could do, obviously, McMillan as your run back against the Jets. You don't even have to do a run back if you don't want to. That would be a very unique lineup, though. So you have to do correlation. You have to do game theory on what's going to happen. So already I'm not liking this lineup. Hope you're learning something along the way and getting into my brain as far as what the heck's going on when I'm looking at these. So let's go something like instead. But Justin Field naked, be thinking about that on how you could do something with a correlation. Well, I'll tell you like what I did last week. So maybe you do, let's just finish it out. Justin Fields, and then you go like a Krosky and you go a Judkins. And then I like doing sometimes a battle with receiving cores, and it's been working. So like last week, Jackson Smith and the Jigba against, who was it? Let me go look it up. Last week I did, and it paid off in a lot of lineups, was Smith Najigba against, oh my gosh, Brian Thomas. That paid off. It was great. And then the week before, Smith Najigba against a healthy Emeka Ibuka, and that paid off as well. So sometimes you like to do those receiver battles that are going on that's not, they're not getting the game done on the ground, high over unders. And so you could do it with the Chargers and the Colts. You could do it with obviously Dallas and Washington, but who you're going to use for Washington? Let's try Colts and Dallas again. So receiving core, this gives you that correlation in game theory in your lineup that can kind of save you if you're getting too different in too many spots, or finding that chalk of what. I'll tell you a good one right here. No one's going to have A.J. Brown or no one's going to have Devontae Smith, but people might have Justin Jefferson. So what if you did a battle on... and Sutton looks really good too. But you can't do a battle because I wouldn't take any I would not take any Giants receivers. Now, I will be taking, spoiler in the props, take anyone's under against Pat Surtain. So we're going to go target that in our props video coming out Friday. I'm putting out a Thursday night prop video tomorrow, and then I'm putting out a Sunday props video on Friday. So come back for that. That one's obvious, and there's a giveaway. First in the league, and it's in question that he gets passing to. And look, they're the same price, but if they are down at all in the game and if they abandon the run or whatever, then they're going to have to start passing. So maybe they start, and you're getting an A.J. Brown at a floor price. Like, I don't remember him being in the 5K range last season. So get him at the floor, be early on him rather than later, and be a 3% owned receiver battling the best receiver. And potentially their best cornerback. Let me go look it up real quick for you guys. For the Eagles, could be out. Let me see what his... And if he's out, then they are decimated in the secondary. That's why we like Justin Jefferson this week. Quinyon Mitchell. What is his status? He's dealing with the hamstring. Remains to be seen if he'll be able to play Sunday. If he doesn't play, that's why Justin Jefferson looks great. And you can have that battle with a floor price of A.J. Brown. I love it already. And then go throw in a tight end. I like to throw in tight ends just to see who I'm getting as far as my last receiver and my flex spot. I wouldn't go expensive on this lineup. Kraft looks great, obviously. But we'll do a different way. We'll do it right now. Golden looks awesome. He's going to have a breakout game. If you watched the Packers game last week, he had some targets, and he had 5 targets for 86 yards, only 3 receptions for 86 yards. He's going to have a breakout game eventually, especially if who's their second guy? They still have injuries in the receiving core. So you could, he's going to be at a floor price, and he has a breakout game. He's going to go up a lot. Throw in a tight end, a cheaper tight end with a... Let's go Gadsden again. I think he's going to get a lot of targets in that passing game. If Njoku's out, I do like Fannin. He had a lot of targets last game, and Njoku, 10 targets. That's a big body tight end that's getting a lot of targets from his scared rookie quarterback. So he looks really good. Are you going to take him over Zach Ertz? Especially if Deebo Samuel and Terry McLaurin's out? Probably not. I'd like Zach Ertz there against Dallas. But let's just go with Gadsden. I do like him this week. And then throw in a defense. Throw in a little, maybe like a little Browns defense at home against a Miami who's still down Tyreek Hill. I don't know. That'd be kind of scary. Throw in a Chicago defense against the Saints at home. I like that one. And then who does that leave you? 7,800. You can go get whoever you want. Josh Jacobs in a great spot against Arizona. And then you have, or you can go get Barkley, whoever you want right there. So that's, you have 2 elite starting wide receivers. You have a Golden that could have a breakout game. You have Josh Jacobs, who's a workhorse. They don't mind sitting him, though, in the fourth quarter if they're up a lot. But if they're doing that, then he already got to 30, like he did last week. Then you got the 2... Oh, man, I did not mean to do Alvin Kamara. Come on. Quinshon Junkins. So then if you do that, you have to just go get a different defense. Who would I get? Let's go Browns against Miami. Then you got those 2 workhorse backs who have been getting all the touches. You got a naked Justin Fields, who was also probably going to be rushing a lot. Got the 2 elite receivers, maybe a breakout receiver, a lot of targets, tight end, and a workhorse back in Josh Jacobs. Not a bad lineup either right there. So let's build one more quick one before we get out of here. So that's 2. So we used naked Justin Fields, which I like. We used a stacked Herbert, which I really like as well. And let's see. You know what's not also going to be popular? Although I like the Giants pass rush. But I do like Cortland Sutton this week. Who else could we target? You could target the revenge game with Carson Wentz, although I think he's played Philly already. Not this season, but I think he played him last season. I don't remember how he did, but you could play that with Justin Jefferson since we really like Justin Jefferson this week. You could play a Caleb Williams against the Saints. Ooh, you know what you could do? You do Caleb Williams, and then what you do is you obviously play a Dunze, and then you see what happens with DJ Moore. And if he's out, then you put in Swift. If he's in, you just keep DJ Moore. And what that does is that allows you to bring back for Olave, who gets all the freaking targets for Saints. And if they're throwing a lot, he's going to get all the targets again. So you go Olave, and they never raise his price. It's crazy. It's 5,400 again. I mean, this guy, it's just because he does average, but look at his targets. 10, 11, 6 dud against Buffalo. They didn't need to. He still got 10 points, still got a touchdown. That's his only touchdown game. Then he got 14, 10, and 12. He's getting targeted double digits every single game. He's like the Drake London of Thursday night. And if that's your bring back, especially if they're down in the game against the Bears, then he's going to get targeted double digits again. And just by pure volume, he probably gets there for you as the bring back. So you throw him in there. I just want to see what this looks like. Then can you go get a good running back finally? Maybe you go, I mean, not that I say finally because I got Jacobs in the last lineup with the other two good guys, but I don't like targeting Denver. I think Denver is going to rout the Giants, and I hope they rout the Giants. I don't really like Scattaboo, and I definitely don't like Dart. I know it doesn't matter. I'll take him in fantasy if I like him, but I don't like them this week against Denver. That's for sure. So maybe go workhorse with Jordan Mason on the ground against Philly. That's not going to be popular just because of the Philly name, but they've been giving up a lot. How many rushing yards have they been giving up? 134 yards per game. So maybe you go with Jordan Mason, and then you go and then the only way to target Minnesota is on the ground, and maybe you be early on Barkley. Everyone's off of him. He's going to be low owned, and because he hasn't done shit yet this season. But the good way to target Minnesota is on the ground. So maybe you go him, and then who are you going to throw in tight end? Let's go Fannin with this one because we do like Fannin being targeted double-digit times or last game without Njoku on the field, and Njoku's probably going to be injured and not playing. So you go Fannin, and then you throw in a defense. Let's throw in another cheap defense to see what that does for us on the flex, which would be let's go Jets again. I kind of like Jets at home against Carolina with only one receiver and questionable backfield if they're sharing the workload. So, and people are going to be scared to click on them because Dowdle's been torching everyone. I don't know if he torches everyone this week. So look at that. But your bring back would be McMillan. Don't do that. Could be Scattaboo. This is where sometimes I do something like Jaunty. Maybe throw in George Pickens, see if you can throw a defense in there. You won't be able to fit anyone. That's where you'd have to go maybe somewhere tight end, different tight end. You go back to Gadsden, I guess. Or you can go Juwan Johnson. You can go a full game stack. He gets targeted quite a bit too. Loveland has been ramping up like everyone says that he should be. Go back to Gadsden. Can you fit a defense with them? Yeah, you could fit Carolina. Maybe you go Carolina defense instead of Jet defense, and where they're, have no pass catchers, so maybe they get a couple interceptions. So that's not a bad lineup either. Caleb Williams throwing to his two best receivers. Oh, I remember what I wanted to try and do. If DJ Moore is out, then you plug him out, and you take maybe take Barkley out, and then you throw in DeAndre Swift. And who does that leave you for your last receiver? Well, let's try throwing him in there. And then who's that leave you for your last? Dowdle. Something to think about, guys. But that is like a good game script with an awesome bring back as far as Chicago throwing it a lot. And if DJ Moore is out, they're going to be leaning on Swift a little bit more. Your bring back is that double-digit Olave, double-digit tight end again. Justin Jefferson, who looks awesome this week. We've got to pay attention to his ownership, though. And Yeah, so there you have it, guys. 3 lineups up, 3 lineups down. I hope you enjoyed this, and my cheat sheet will be out. Here's a little sneak peek. I mean, obviously, I don't give anyone yet, but I did put it out on Saturday. If you watch my recap video on Monday, we had every top guy again, and I gave every top pivot in our Discord channel. And you just got to know how to mix and match them. So making profit every week is awesome, and putting yourself in contention for that first place prize is all we want. So this cheat sheet has been crushing for everyone. I've been nothing but good things from my members that have been using it and that are following me in Discord, so I make any changes. But this will be out Saturday. Dirt cheap price for everything, like I preach in all my videos. Locker picks, GFS cheat sheets, prop bets, which have been crushing. The prop bets, my record, let me go look at my prop bets record real quick. And it has been so awesome. Hold on, sorry, bear with me. I want to tell you my prop bets wins. So my free prop bets that I've been giving out since the 25th, I'm 14-5 in the NFL, and I swept the last 2 weeks. And my premium bets, I'm 9-4. So do all that together, 14-5, 9-4. I am 23-9 in all my props. So we are absolutely crushing props. So you get all of this, everything, and you get our daily picks that we put out every single day, at least 2 picks every single day from experts, and all this dirt cheap price of $6.99 a week or $19.99 a month. If you do buy the month, you're basically getting 2 weeks free. That's why I did it. But just wanted to make it cheap and available, especially this cheat sheet, to everyone, so that we win together. So all right, guys, please like and follow, like and subscribe. Hit that like button for your good karma on the way out, and be on the lookout for my props videos for the next 2 days. All right, we'll see you guys. Hey, guys.